The support project for the sustainable improvement of the productivity and competitiveness of the bovine dairy sectors in West and Central Africa, Amprolait, was a welcome initiative. At the beginning of its activities, sustained attention was given to the sustained improvement of the productivity and competitiveness of the dairy value chains in West and Central Africa. With the Interstate School of Veterinary Sciences and Medicine, EISMV, as project manager, the partnership established between national research institutes of Burkina Faso, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon enabled for 3 years to this research action project to have a real impact on the lives of agropastoralists. Based on an EU and Canadian corporation funding, those resources enable right at the inception of CORAF in the different intervention areas marked by cattle breeding and dairy production to proceed with well-defined objectives.
On a fait des tests d'alimentation pour montrer comment on peut améliorer la productivité du
We conducted some food tests to see how to improve the dairy production, and this is what they have to apply. Second, we advocated artificial insemination in natural heat, just to enable the breeders to better know their cows. When these are in heat, the inseminator comes around and does his job, the objective being, when the milk increases, to produce quality milk.
It was the kickoff for 3 years of intense work during which fertile experimentations were noted on the field of practices, the end result being to meet ever increasing needs of the populations in milk, the more so because attempts at intensifying cattle breeding are facing food, health, zootechnical and technical issues, and especially a lack of organization of the players combined with the impact of climate change.
L'un des objectifs majeurs était de mettre en place des plateformes.
One of the key objectives was to help set up platforms that would bring together all the players of the bovine dairy sectors. Those platforms were supposed to gather all those involved in improving production and productivity.
D'améliorer la production et la productivité.
This situation is more conspicuous in areas where livestock occupies nearly 80% of the working population according to countries and contribute to GDP between 5 and 20%. In Burkina, Niger, and Senegal, the signals are green. The project's action research teams have conducted tests for the improvement of the productivity and competitiveness of the local dairy sectors on the ground according to the Agricultural Integrated Research for Development, AR4D.
Nous, en tant que techniciens, nous sommes au niveau du bureau de la plateforme.
As technicians, we are at the platform office to provide technical and practical guidance, especially on animal health, so the breeders can have the right information on milking, health, and sanitation.
De traite, de santé, d'hygiène.
The Amprolait project kept carrying tests in feeding and breeding local cows in the 3 involved countries, namely Burkina, Niger, and Senegal. Beyond the collaboration strategy between actors of the milk value chains, 5 innovation platforms for multi-actors of the local dairy sector have been set up, including 1 in Kaolack, Senegal, 2 in Burkina Faso, Bobo-Dioulasso and Wondé, 1 in Niamey, Niger, and 1 in Cameroon, in the Adamawa region. These full-fledged innovation platforms are upheld thanks to the dynamisms of its members.
Avec le projet Amprolait, nous avons eu beaucoup d'acquis sur les techniques de transformation.
We have several achievements with the Amprolait project, especially on processing techniques, but also the milk hygiene and quality, how to milk, how to preserve, which materials to use. We had some capacity building sessions that enabled us to acquire knowledge on global management.
Dans la gestion financière des recettes qu'on gagne à travers ce lait.
In Senegal, for example, in the Kaolack and Kaffrine regions, the technologies generated under the project help increase the average daily milk production from 1.5 to 3 liters. The project also enabled the creation of an innovation platform which counts 746 beneficiaries, 45% of whom are women. Thanks to these results, the success rate of artificial insemination on natural heats reaching 40% largely facilitates the consent of all the PAFLICA member breeders. 256, representing 86% of member producers of Kaolack IP, adopted artificial insemination.
Under the Amprolait project, artificial insemination in natural heat enables us to have products from cows. Instead of producing 2 liters of milk a day, for instance, they now produce 15 to 20 liters a day. So we can say that we are learning how to have quality and quantity milk.
In order to test improved feeding technologies through the evaluation of locally available resources, food supplements developed from locally available resources have been proposed. In fact, food supplements are locally available and accessible resources. They are essentially made of maize, groundnut and cottonseed meals, corn bran and wheat.
L'autre volet, c'est le volet alimentation.
The other component is the food component. How to use our natural resources in the food to improve our dairy production. And finally, the milk quality component. And on these 3 points, our research teams, alongside the producers of the platform, research activities have been conducted through theses and dissertations defended by the students who assisted us all along those research activities.
Accompagner dans les activités de recherche.
In Caon, close to Kaolack, a former immigrant from Italy had successfully converted himself to a breeder. In his farm, we can count about 20 cattle and other species. For him, immigration is not always the answer. Therefore, the returning home is synonym of progress.
With the milk sale, we are really making it. Livestock breeding is really profitable. In this rainy season, we have huge amounts of food in store. With cows, we always need to have huge amounts. We can have between 70 and 80 liters a day. The liter can be sold between 500 and 600 CFA francs. The leftover is offered to the neighbors.
In Burkina Faso, strategic supplementation had a positive effect on the average daily gain of calves from the supplemented cows studied. The average weight at birth being of 26.92 kilograms, calves from supplemented cows before and after calving average 9 kilograms more than unsupplemented ones. As regards milk quality control, a management strategy of the quality of milk throughout all the value chain has been developed, taking into account the poor health quality of the milk. In fact, after various training sessions on the quality of the local milk, the various actors of the platform are convinced that the improvement of the quality of the local milk, the transport, processing and marketing of milk will make local milk more competitive with respect to the imported milk. To date, the Amprolait project has developed in these intervention areas 2 hygiene kits for the milking and processing of local milk, including a kit for breeders and a kit for milk collectors. In Burkina, to solve the microbiological quality of the tested milk, the Burkinabe breeders developed a technical sheet to train the various players of the milk value chain in Houé. In addition, a guide to milk hygiene and quality is proposed for each link in the value chain, with strict respect to the environmental and gender dimensions.
Aujourd'hui, nous pouvons comptabiliser plus de 4000 personnes.
Actually, we can count more than 4,000 people trained under this project. Since the gender issue was taken into account, we showed women how to produce yogurt from raw cow milk when it came to making the kit.
Cru de vache.
Le projet nous a permis à multiplier ce qu'on avait l'habitude d'avoir.
The project has allowed us to multiply our milk quantity compared to what we used to have. It allows women to process the milk in better conditions and furthermore to sell it within the local market, but also to take part in the international fair trade. In this project, a significant capacity building effort of agropastoralists has been noted in all the intervention areas. Here, as elsewhere, a series of training sessions on various topics has been initiated to the profit of the members of the innovation platforms. 639 actors, including 41.2% of women in Burkina Faso, Niger, and Senegal, were trained on various topics such as artificial insemination, detection of natural heats, income-generating activities, access to credits, and milking and milk hygiene. Some 25 PAFLICA IP members, including 13 women, were trained to organization management. 109, representing 91% of women, were trained and now master the rules of hygiene in milking and the best practices to process local milk.
Je suis satisfait, mais vous savez, comme j'ai dit, avec les...
I am satisfied, but as you know, I keep telling to the producers, a project has a life expectation, which is a good thing. But the well-being of a producer does not only stick to the project. We have to be around, keep guiding them and revitalizing every once in a while these concepts, show them how to make them sustainable, entrench that empowerment among these groupings, because with all these various training sessions, there were various platforms involving women groupings put together to set up small dairy units, which is really important.
Ensemble pour former des petites unités laitières. C'est ça qui est très important.
We are grateful to our partners and we wish for the sustainability of such project and hope for its continuity. Today, even if the project ends, we have already made giant and major steps. Overall, the Amprolait project just confirmed the possibility of improving the productivity and competitiveness of the milk value chains in West and Central Africa if some food and health prerequisites are mastered. Consequently, GDP growth could be based mainly on the mastery of the milking, processing, and marketing conditions. In any case, an economic challenge is about to be addressed with the Amprolait project.